Today I'm going to give you my top 10 reasons why I upgraded from my old 3D printer to the new Bambu X1 Carbon. Stay tuned, I'll walk you through it. "3D printing is nothing new to me. I go back to the old days when you had to build your own machine, and mine was built out of wood. This is the extruder head. So as you can see, it's pretty archaic. Well, I've owned several printers since that original printer, and I recently just made this upgrade. The previous printer was it was a Power Spec brand, which I think was a clone of a FlashForge printer. This thing dated probably about 7-8 years ago, and originally was a $1,000 printer. Now I bought it broken and repaired it and brought it all back to life. But the bottom line, there were a few features where this thing is really starting to show its age. So number one, no automatic bed leveling. That was problematic. Anytime you wanted to change what your build surface was, it was a big, long, drawn-out leveling exercise to get everything just right on whatever the new material substrate was. It originally did not have a interchangeable build platforms, and so I added a magnetic bed, and as you can see, there's a FlashForge, that blue build sheet that's on there. I also added a cooling fan for the print itself, so it's a ductwork that wraps around the two extruders. This is an IDEX, so it's two extruders capable of dual colors. And I added ductwork and a cooling fan setup to that, and that really helped improve the printer. So over the years, I've been able to add a few things to it and get pretty good results out of it, going to modern software, and got good results with the tweaks that I could do in the modern software. So, but I want to print more with the exotic kinds of materials, you know, the nylons, the carbon fiber nylon, ASAs, things of that nature. And that's where this printer and its build housing just really kind of fell a little bit short. So I've made the decision to upgrade to the Bambu X1 Carbon. And let me walk you through what all of the reasons were that I selected that printer. So let's start my top 10 reasons that I purchased the X1 Carbon with number one. I went out and looked at lots of reviews, looked at lots of different printers online, read lots of reviews, and this printer got great reviews. So obviously I wasn't going to buy something out there that that people had issues with. The reviews were great. People were talking about getting great results, and they loved all the features. So that was my number one starting point. Second key reason that I bought this printer was the touch screen. The screen on this printer gives you lots of control. You're able to monitor what's going on with the printer very nicely. Hang on just a second. There. And compared to the FlashForge, it had a very rudimentary LCD, 4-line LCD panel. So a lot of flipping around through the menu structure to find the things that you want. You could control it fairly nicely, but it was a little cryptic to dig around into the menus. My number 3 reason was Wi-Fi support. So the old printer, no network capability whatsoever. I would use the old sneaker net approach, where I would take an SD card, put my file on using my computer, and then bring it over, drop it into the 3D printer, and then be able to select from the menu to print that particular G-code file. With the Bambu X1 and the Bambu Slicer software, I can simply slice my project. That'll prepare it, and then I'm ready to print, and that hitting print brings up a dialog box. I can double check my settings, and then all I have to do is hit send, and that will send it over the Wi-Fi to the printer. And I hear the printer making its moves right now. And I can turn on the camera and watch what's happening. Again, all of that over Wi-Fi. Reason number 4 was the integrated camera system. So this printer did not have that. Occasionally I would set up a webcam to look at the printer. The Bambu has, and especially the X1, has a HD resolution camera, and you can watch it operate in real time. And one of the things that I really liked was that there was a nice phone app that I would be able to monitor the printer wherever I was in the house, in the workshop, or even if I was out away from the house. The printer also has an ability to capture time-lapse video of the projects, and sometimes that can be handy if you're diagnosing a printing issue, or if you just want to pop that up onto YouTube. Reason number 5 is the AMS system, the automatic material system. So the AMS allows me to put in 4 different rolls of filament. And of course there's a spool holder on the back, so technically I guess you could say there's 5 different filament options. And that gives me a place to keep the filament online, so the common filaments that I use all the time, I'll keep those in, and then I can just select from a software standpoint which filament that I want to use. Turns out really nice. I don't do a lot of multicolor printing, but I have started. There's a little example where I printed multicolor. So there's a base color on the back, and then the letters which are raised are printed different colors. And then there's a single layer of a different color on the back of that. And I thought this little print was an interesting thing. It's a U.S. Army Jeep, and it's printed with green, black, white, and tan for all the little parts. And that was all printed as one print. The machine changed all of the colors automatically. I didn't have to do anything. Reason number 6 is hardened gears and hardened nozzle. So I like to print carbon fiber type products. In this particular case, this is a nylon carbon fiber, and I also use PLA carbon fibers. And having it already set up to handle those materials, fantastic. Number 7 for me is the ability to work with high temperature materials. So I like to print structural items that I'll use in the shop, and things that I might use, for instance, on my boat. I like the ability to switch around materials, so I'll prototype in PLA, get the dimensions right, and then the ability to go and print with, this, in this particular case, this is a nylon material, creates a very rugged part that I can use out in the real world to do real stuff. So high temperature, the way that the unit is built, where it's fully enclosed. The temperature bed on the X1 is able to operate at 100 degrees C, and of course I'm able to print materials up to 300 degrees off of the extruder. Reason number 8 for me was the latest generation, next generation, whatever you want to call it, of bed leveling. So in the Bambu, one of the things that it does a little bit different is that it takes the extruder head and it comes into physical contact with the bed. So it's making an actual measurement using a load cell that's integrated into the bed itself, so it can sense when the extruder head comes in contact. It also has the ability to take measurements all across the bed. So it'll take multiple measurements, about 20 different measurements across the bed to make sure that everything is level. Reason number 9 is the advanced LiDAR that's built into the system. So we talk about the advanced bed leveling that it has and all the checks that it does there. But then it comes back with the LiDAR and does a second set of checks on bed leveling just to confirm the measurements. So I really like that capability. The other thing that the LiDAR does is it will, when it's first getting ready to do a print, it's going to lay down some lines of filament, and then it's going to come back and check it with the LiDAR and make little small subtle adjustments to the extrusion rates to make sure that you're getting a perfect extrusion. And then finally, after it lays down all of the first layer, it's going to come back with the LiDAR and scan that first layer and make sure that you've got a perfect first layer. There's not any gaps or holes in that first layer. If it detects an issue, then it'll pause the printer at that point, give you a warning message, and then you can decide whether you want to proceed or restart the print. My number 10 reason, and most important reason, this printer has input shaping built in. So there are sensors inside of the printer, inside the print head, that will measure vibration. So it'll go through a routine as it's starting up on each print. It'll go through, do some measurements, and then through the magic of software, then it's going to go back through and counteract the effects of those vibrations. Net result of that is I get a better quality print. With the old printer, there was always a little bit of belt ringing that would happen, and of course, as you go faster and faster, those ringing artifacts in the print would get worse and worse. The Bambu X1 with this vibration analysis and input shaping allows this printer to print really, really fast without having all of those artifacts in the print. And in fact, I can get a print out of the new printer about 5 times faster than what I was able to do with the old printer for equivalent quality. So as an end result, the X1 Carbon, this printer just works. It prints with all of the features and all the capabilities and improvements that are in it. My experience with this printer is I'm getting good results almost every single time. The print is just flawless. And compared to the older 2 generations back printer, with this printer the experience was a lot of experimentation. It was, you fiddled with the printer a lot, and you were happy when you got it to work, and you could get good results out of it, but it required a bit of work. And so if I think in terms of what I was able to do from a 3D printing standpoint, with the old printer, I was just focused on a lot around the process, not as much on what it was I was going to make. Now with the new printer, I'm not so worried about it being able to print. With the old printer, I'd always have to watch it all the time. With the new printer, I don't have to watch it. I will send a print job to it. I can monitor it on my phone. I can go work on other things, work in the CAD system. It really is a transformation in the experience. So I look forward to many, many more prints out of this, several years of operating this particular printer and really being able to focus on what I'm making as opposed to the hobby of 3D printing. So this is Dave in the shop. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. That really helps the channel. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Bambu X1? My friends all have Prusas, and I must make amends. I've worked hard all my life with no help from my friends. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Bambu X1?